Good morning. Welcome to the Sunday celebration of Spirit here at the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living. I want to thank you for braving the rainstorm. And I'd like to thank God for any drops of water that we receive. Thank you, God. I invite you to take this opportunity to turn off your cell phone, pagers, any electronic equipment in your possession, so it doesn't interfere with the sacred space that we're going to create today. And once you've done that, say hi to your neighbor. Maybe somebody you don't know, haven't met before.
Maybe I don't know you.
We here at the Golden Gate Center for Spiritual Living honor you wherever you are on your spiritual path. And there are infinite paths too, but indeed there's only one God. The words of the morning chant will be up here on the screen, followed by the morning prayer by Reverend Sarah Hargrave.
You want to say anything about this chant, Karyl? Let's all stand up. Every cell in my body, every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does. Joy fills every cell in my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow Spirit to do what it does.
Please join me in prayer. And I speak this prayer in the first person for myself and for all of you who choose it for yourself. I relax into the oneness of Spirit, grateful for the understanding that Spirit, by whatever name I choose to call it, is truly all there is, everywhere present. And I affirm that my mind is one with the one mind of God, always present. And that infinite intelligence within me is guiding me this moment and every moment, in every decision. And I open my mind to that infinite intelligence, knowing that it is harmonizing and healing all that needs to be harmonized and healed in all areas of my life and my body, my health and vitality. And I open my heart to the love of Spirit, spreading from me out into the world in greater ways and returning to me in joyous ways. And I let go of anything that is heavy on my heart and know that joy is in its place, flowing in. So I accept this as done, complete in the mind of God, and I simply wait for wonderful reports and delightful surprises, and so it is. Amen. And our wonderful musicians, Bodie and Posey.
Thank you. And I invite you to stand and move if you like. We're going to sing Use Me.
If you want to be danced and used.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, and God's so much more than the earth and the stars and all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So sing with me. Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. God needs us to shine its light. Yes, God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Yes, show me all that I must do.
Posey line.
Beautiful, beautiful, and so appropriate for this morning's talk. You'll see why. Good morning, everyone. Gosh, you know, I would like to say how happy I am that you came out in the rain. I mean, a summer's day with a rainstorm would make some people want to stay in bed, but not you, right? That's great, wonderful. So I hope you'll be very, very happy. I hope you're happy right now that you're here. and get happier. So we are speaking this whole year about the essay that our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, wrote that has come down to us as what we believe. And we are taking one statement a month to really go in depth. So the statement that we have right now is this one. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through the intuitive and spiritual nature of the individual, and that any person who lives in close contact with the indwelling God may become a revealer of truth. So it's not just the sages and the prophets and those people that speak the truth, but each one of us can, and actually we do. So the theme for this whole month is connection. And the idea is that if we are consciously connected with our source, that we will be able to reveal higher and higher truths. So close contact with the indwelling spirit is exactly what Posey was singing about. Use me, O God, and show me what's mine to do. Because sometimes I think when we get into this philosophy and we learn how to do spiritual mind treatment and we have the feeling that I can affect my life, I can actually co-create my life with God, I can make stuff happen, that our prayers are a lot about that, about making something happen that we want. And the close connection with the indwelling spirit that makes us become revealers of truth is not to say, what do I want to make happen through the power of God? It is, how can I become more connected with my source? How can I know the truth in an instant? How can I call upon the presence of God to fill me with love? How can I call upon the presence of God to fill me with faith? And how can I listen so deeply that I know what is mine to do? And that's exactly what that song was about. And that's what it means by establishing close contact with the indwelling presence. It's really, some of our authors that we read, I think Joel Goldsmith is the one that talks about courting the presence. Now, courting is an old-fashioned term for what you do with your sweetheart. You know, you look into each other's eyes, you feel into each other's heart, you gaze and gaze with love at each other. And that's what we can do with the indwelling presence, is court it, just like the same energy as the sweetheart energy. So when we do that, what happens is that we start speaking forth higher and higher truths, and then we start living higher and higher truths, and the experience of our life becomes more and more harmonious, and so we become revealers of truth. And it happens in this order: consciousness, establishing a close connection with the indwelling spirit, and then with that consciousness, our language starts changing, and we look for the good and we start praising it, and we don't awfulize anymore, and those people that we used to gossip with, somehow they go somewhere else. And so we speak the truth, and then as we speak the truth is revealed in our actions, and then our life is consistent with thought, speech, and action. And then as we do that, our experience of life becomes very, very positive and congruent. Our life is actually pretty congruent anyway, because we live what we believe. But as we work with establishing a close contact with the indwelling presence, then that elevates our speech, elevates our action, and elevates our experience of life. You got that? It's so easy. It's so basic. It's so natural. It's the way it is. And, but this is a whole do-it-yourself kind of thing. I can tell you this, and you can say, oh, isn't that wonderful? And then if you don't work on your stuff, healing what hurts and not blaming it on somebody else, then all it is, a nice talk, and you don't get to integrate it. And that's what we're all of us, the ministers and the practitioners, are here to help all of us integrate that. So the title of my talk is Revealing Truth in Health. and so we have different areas of our life where we are revealers of truth. And so this is about health today. And I had a very good time putting this talk together, so I hope you like it. The word today is health, of course, and here we have a picture of 4 healthy people that I would love to have in this church, actually. This came from the internet. Aren't they healthy, though? Don't they look? They're very healthy. They look very happy. And then I want to draw your attention also to Gailya's beautiful altar, which is, you know, an old time. How many of you, most of you, I'm sure, have heard the term in the pink? You know, that's health, in the pink. So we've got in the pink, and we've got vital, vital plants, and we've got this inner glow of this wonderful ball with the lights in it, the candles, that reminds me of every cell in our body. So thank you so much, Gailya, for that beautiful altar. So I want to talk a little bit about the different levels of truth, because we can we kind of talk about the small t truth and the capital T truth. So and then I'm going to apply this to health. The small t truth is really what we believe is so about our bodies and our health and our aging and our mind as well, because I believe, although there have been times in our history and philosophers that I could name that separate body and mind or bring body and mind together, and I kind of think that we are a body-mind complex here. We are a system of body and mind. So when I talk about health, it's the health of our body as well as the health of our mind. So whatever we believe, whatever we hold as the deepest truth, whether we have put that into words or not, and you know, I think sometimes health issues run in families not because, you know, it is genetically programmed, but, you know, if you grow up in a family where people are used to being sick, then that's how you know, that's what you believe. You know, bodies get sick, so I get sick. I mean, I have a good friend who says, well, you know, Julia brought home a cold from school, so of course all of us are going to get it. Well, you know, and that's happened for years and years and years in that family. So whatever it is we believe about our health, about the well-being of our body, mind, how healthy we are, how comfortable we are in our physical body, that felt sense of wholeness or lack of wholeness, how at home we feel in our body, and even how we carry ourselves in posture is about it reflects our beliefs about our physical and mental well-being. And it shows, you know, you can tell, right? When somebody doesn't feel good or they don't feel good about themselves, it really does show, because we are consistent beings, really, and that's why I gave that pattern of working in consciousness, then working about speaking, and then working in action, and then our life is transformed. That's what happens. So in the small t truth, whatever it is we believe about ourselves is what we experience, and that's what we talk about, and that's what people get from us. So then there is the ultimate truth, which is all about, we can't really know what it's all about, because God is so much more than this that we experience. So we imagine that the ultimate truth, the capital T truth, has a lot to do with wholeness and love and support and peace and creativity and radiance, because when we sit in the presence and court the indwelling God, what we get is more and more and more of that. So we can extrapolate from that the ultimate truth is infinite love and infinite well-being. And as we sit in that presence consciously more and more and more, then it seems like we experience more wholeness. And you know, of course, the word whole and the word health come from the same root. So we experience ourselves as whole, complete, and perfect in that physical sense and that mental sense when we work with health. So our health, how we feel living in our body, is somewhere on that continuum. And what we believe about our health has a lot to do with our experience. but I want to differentiate between the circumstance of either ease or dis-ease and the experience of our vitality and health. And I want to use for this example a wonderful, amazing minister that used to be the president of our entire movement. Many of you have had experience of Dr. Peggy Bassett, who was the minister at the Huntington Beach Church for a long time and contracted Lou Gehrig's disease. And she was the president of this whole organization as Lou Gehrig's disease was taking hold of her body. And I remember having an international meeting where she was giving a talk, and at the time, she was unable to use her hands. And so her husband turned the pages for her. And this was at a time in our movement when people thought that you ought to be able to make yourself physically healthy. And here was our president who was dying. And what she said, and I heard her say this, she said, well, in my life, I have had financial issues. I have had relationship issues. I think she had 4 husbands. So you can imagine she had relationship issues. And she says, and now I'm dealing with a health issue, and you know, it's not so bad. That's what she said, and the way she said it. So if you were looking at the circumstance, and judging by the circumstance, you would say, oh, it's bad. That's what a lot of people said. But if you would talk to her, and you would feel her presence, and hear her say, well, I've had other issues in my life, and health issues aren't so bad. She was amazing. The last piece of her body that worked was a big toe. It was very odd. But she could write thank you notes on a computer with her big toe, and did, until the day before she died. Living full out. So we talked about last week the Learning Lodge of relationships, and this is a learning lodge also. Health is a learning lodge, along with relationships, supply, and expression. So as I was writing this, I searched the internet and for the 10 rules for being human. Do you remember that? I'm going to send these out because all 10 rules are fabulous, and I would get way off track if I talked about all 10 rules. But the first rule is very, very important. You will be given a body. That's the first rule of the 10 rules for being human. You will be given a body. So I want us to think about that. We are immortal spiritual beings, and we have been given a body. So that our physicalness spans that dimension, the dimensions between spirit and form. Our bodies are form, and they are alive with spirit. And they don't last forever. I don't know anybody whose body lasts forever. And so the first rule, that you will receive a body, it's very important to remember that this is something this is a gift. Where we live on this earth plane in a body is a gift. The second rule is very lovely as well, which is you will be presented with lessons. So the lessons tend to fall into the learning lodges. They're staging areas for human growth. Relationships, health, supply, and expression. Pretty much, that's where your pain is. Pretty much, that's where your joy is. Pretty much, that's where we all get our lessons. And as we say, oh, a lesson is being presented to me when we have pain instead of who can I blame, it goes better for us. So as we talk about health, it's a very, very important learning lodge. And what I believe is that our body-mind is perfect to reveal our life purpose or help us to live into our life purpose. So you have somebody like Peggy Bassett, and it turned out that one very major thing about her life and her life purpose, it seemed, was to heal our movement of this uppity belief that we had that if we were good metaphysicians, we should be able to heal every single thing that happened to us. We should be able to get rid of symptoms of dis-ease. We should be able to get rid of cancer or Lou Gehrig's disease or AIDS through prayer, period. And if we didn't succeed through prayer, there was something wrong with us. Peggy Bassett healed that. There's so much messaging about physical beauty and about how smart we have to be and how we don't want to age, but we want to look 25 through the next 75 years. And what is true is that if we have a body that functions normally for us, whatever that is, and if we have a mind that channels the wisdom of God, which all of us have, we live with this gift that can help us reveal our life purpose. So the small t truth has to do with how much we like our body and our mind, whether we deal with dis-ease in the body or the mind, how we think and feel about living in a body for a long, long time, and whether or not it wears out in particular places. And so our belief about our body creates our experience, because beliefs are the cause and the experience is the effect. But it happens in two ways, at least two ways. And this is really an important sub-lesson within this lesson, because it's really important to know that cause, mental cause, can be in the past, and it can also be in the future. And it has to do with whether we are looking at past circumstances and bringing them forward, or whether we are looking at our vision and having our vision draw us. So in applying that to health, we can say, I hate my hips, I hate my hips, I hate my hips, I hate my hips, for years and years and years and years. And you know what? It will not go well with us if we do that. Or whatever it is, your body part that you have an issue with, if you hate it and don't love it, it will not make you happy. It will not go well with you. And the future casting, or casting a vision for ourselves, has to do with, I am given the vision of running a marathon, and I am in no way, shape, or form ready to do that, but that is my vision, and it is pulling me. This is what, in this little book that I made of great, great, great quotations, this is Terence McKenna. For me, the key to unlocking what is going on with history, creativity, and progressive processes of all sorts is to see the state of completion at the end as a kind of higher dimensional object that casts an enormous and flickering shadow over the lower dimensions of organization, of which this universe is one. So in other words, when we have a vision that we are going for, it informs all of our actions. And that's a cause for us. It's a cause that changes our life because we are going for it in the future. Do you see how that can be so powerful? And we do that with the practices that we know about, with visioning, with prayer, with meditation, with sitting, with asking, what is mine to do, God? And to have that vision that pulls us, rather than to look in the mirror and kind of, go, whatever we do with our physical health. So New Thought, actually, this is a big lesson for us, because New Thought was actually founded on physical healing. Phineas Parker's Quimby, Mary Baker Eddy, Emma Curtis Hopkins, those greats that you hear about and you learn about when you take roots, those people got famous because they healed diseases. This was, of course, in the late 1800s, and they barely knew about germs in the late 1800s. So it was enormous spiritual work that was done. And we have those greats now. Terry McBride, who spoke here not too many months ago, is a lot about physical healing. And healing the circumstances of physical healing. So if you have something that you want to heal the circumstance of physical healing, maybe you can find a practitioner here that would do that. It's not going to be me, because what I believe about physical healing is that it is really about healing the mind. And it includes this big belief that if we contract a dis-ease that something is wrong. That's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice that Peggy Bassett made to say, well, no, I've got Lou Gehrig's disease, but nothing's wrong here. So 15 years ago now, I didn't know all of you then, but I went through cancer. I had breast cancer. And so it is so informing to me for 15 years. This has been such a blessing, because what happened, and the story that I told for a lot of years, was that I prayed a deep prayer for my ministry. I prayed that I would have a deeper experience in my ministry, and the people in my community would have a deeper experience of my ministry. And I thought, and then I got cancer. Like, well, okay, that's the answer to that. And and it happened. But what else that I haven't told, actually, very much, because it was so hurtful, was that I was going through a divorce. And it was a extremely long and extremely painful set of experiences leading up to the decision to divorce Melanie's dad. So I had these two things going on. One, the guilt and the grief and the questioning and what's the right thing to do, and I'm so unhappy. That was a cause from the past that I kept bringing forward. I'm so unhappy. I don't know what to do. What will happen to the kids? All of this blah, blah, blah of the past that was so painful. That came. Then I had this vision of my ministry that I wanted to be deeper and more powerful. So when you have something powerful that enters your life, often there is more than one cause. And I had it. I had this rumbly cause from the past that was awfully hurtful, and I had this majestic vision of what I wanted to go to in my ministry. And so in God's fabulous economy, I got breast cancer. And in the healing of that, I'm telling you, I did not say, I'm going to heal this through prayer, and I'm going to, I prayed, of course, but I did everything else too. I did, diet and alternative and operations and chemotherapy and everything, because I wanted to do my part to stay in my body a long time. And it happened. It's over. And I have only the blessings. As I was going through it, I really did realize in my heart that I felt like a healthy person with a touch of cancer. And as I went through it, and I did the lessons of forgiveness for myself and my ex-husband, and I did the revisioning of my ministry, and I did the faith in immortality, because there were actually two incidences, and it was a big year, and all of that is integrated into me, and I get the benefits of that, and I don't think I would have changed a thing. And so to have had a dis-ease that was such an amazing gift for my life, it's been my experience. And I had to go through and say, nothing is wrong here. Nothing is wrong here. So for all of us, let's think about how to become a revealer of truth. And we've actually done this a couple of Sundays. I'm going to do it next Sunday too, because it's the recipe for everything. So First of all, you establish a regular spiritual practice. And remember, the regular spiritual practice is not just what you want to make in your life, but how can I have a closer walk with God? And as you work with this spiritual practice, it increases your experience of wholeness no matter what is happening physically with your body. You believe, I'm perfect, whole, and complete. With whatever's going on, I'm perfect, whole, and complete. Next, you ask, what is the highest vision here? Because if you have a health issue, there's a blessing in it. I'm going to say that again. If you have a health issue in body or mind, there is a blessing in it. And that's what you vision on. What is the greatest idea about this so-called dis-ease? And then the third point is, what truth can I totally accept? You may hate the condition that you're in. I mean, I was not particularly happy with the diagnosis. But maybe the highest thing that you can imagine is there's nothing wrong here. And you enlist practitioners and friends and family in saying, please, please help me. Remember, there is nothing wrong here. When I start complaining or awfulizing or saying, you know, oh my God, I wish this isn't happening, please tell me this back to me. There is nothing wrong here. And then finally is speak this truth. I'm begging you to always speak well of your body. It's your gift. It's your earthly clothes that you get to wear as you walk around earth. And so what a gift. Every time you look in the mirror, you should say thank you, especially to the parts that you haven't liked some of the time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I visited my son this last week for a short visit to Santa Fe, and we took a hike that was grueling. I went up and down Indian ladders and over mountains, and all I could say was thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So next we're going to go just a little bit deeper into revealing deep help in mind, body, and spirit, okay? So the first thing to remember is to love our bodies and use them. And some of you are so young that you're not thinking about this, about being grateful for your body. But, you know, if you use it all the time, I mean, it's meant to be used. It's meant to move. It's meant to hike on Indian ladders. And so to use your body all the time and to be grateful for it is really important. And next is to love your minds and use them. I beg you again to think deeply. Oh gosh. So one of the things that we saw outside of Santa Fe where Michael is Los Alamos, where they made the bomb. And they had a comment section at the end of all of these displays. And they showed photographs of Hiroshima and photographs of Oppenheimer and you know, Los Alamos was the place where it was invisible. You know, nobody had an address called Los Alamos. There was some post office box in Santa Fe. And on this comment section, there were comments about shame on the scientists for making this bomb and dropping it on Hiroshima and killing all those people. And there were other comments that said, blessings to the scientists who stopped the war. And it was so striking what a horrible, awful, 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 awful thing war is. And what a great thing it is to stop the war. And to have both of those ideas in a complex mix of deep thinking was in some way satisfying. Because you could be horrified and thankful. Do you see what I mean? Using our mind to discern, to choose, to evaluate, to practice gratitude, to ask ourselves, what is the highest vision in this? How can I think of this greater? If this is a human tragedy, what can I see that might be a blessing there? To use our mind and not be, news consumers like they want us to be, where a sound bite equals the truth. It doesn't. Truth is deep and complex and high and mighty. I feel deeply about that. Okay. Next is pay attention to inner requests. So our body makes requests upon us to rest, to eat well, to move. Our mind makes requests of us to think positive thoughts because, there's a correlation. I could have done the whole talk on the chemical makeup of the body when we think negative thoughts. It brings on dis-ease. When we think negative thoughts and awful eyes, it can't help but affect our body. And so our body has requests. Look for the good and praise it. Be grateful all the time. And finally is affirm perfection. I look out at you, and no matter what health issues you may have, every single one of you is vital. Vital. Every single one of you has an immune system. Every single one of you digests. Every single one of you knows how to heal abrasions and heal bones. And we participate with our mind. It is such a co-creative process, leading to our takeaway today, which is my health depends on physical, mental, and spiritual practice. It's not just given to you. The body's given to you, and your health depends on your participation. So let's do an inner work blessing our body, okay? So, gosh, we have a lot of work to do, and it's perfect where we are, and it's perfect where we're going, and the journey is perfect. That's Ram Dass, and boy, oh boy, is that the truth. Turning within and feeling the edges of our body as we do this, with our eyes closed, and not touching any part of us yet, but just feeling our life all the way down to our fingers, feeling our life all the way down to our toes, feeling life deep within and on the edges of our skin, reveling in the physicality. Yes, realizing that there are metaphysical nodes of consciousness all up and down our spine, and that the energy of our body reaches beyond our body. But in this moment, loving the edges, loving how our cells go all the way to the edge of our skin. And then just rubbing our hands together and placing them over our eyes. And just for a moment, thinking of all the things you've seen. What a blessing it is to have our eyes. Please repeat, I bless my eyes. May they see beauty everywhere. May they remain healthy. I bless my eyes. And rubbing our hands together again and putting them over our ears. And what a blessing it is to hear. Okay, I bless my ears. May they always hear the voice of God. May they remain healthy. I bless my ears. And then one hand on heart and one hand on head, realizing that our mind is processed through our brain and our heart. I bless my mind. May it think vast visionary thoughts. May I always think deeply and well. I bless my mind. And holding on to a knuckle and feeling the bone in the knuckle, and then realizing that the skeleton goes all the way in the skull, the shoulder blades, the beautiful spine, the beautiful hips, the beautiful knees. Oh, say, I bless my bones. They are like the mountains. They are strong. My skeleton is beautiful. I bless my bones. Letting your fingers run over your arms and just feeling the skin and how skin encompasses all of our body. It's all over the place. It's the largest organ. It keeps everything in and keeps a lot out that we want out. Say, I bless my skin. My skin is beautiful. It is functional. It knows how to heal itself. I bless my skin. And placing your hands on your belly. And if you can, become aware of digestion right now. Something's going on in there, and you haven't thought about it all morning long since breakfast. I bless my digestion. I bless all the inner organs. May they be radiant with God's health. I bless my organs. And finally, putting your hands and arms around you like a hug. Saying, I love my whole body. It is where I live on earth. It is the gift from God. I love my body. So sweet. And every, oh, I forgot to tell you one thing. Coming back with the hug, opening your eyes, the song that we opened with, joy fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. The origin of that song was affirmations that me and my family wrote on the nurse's board in the hospital when I had the mastectomy. And Karen Drucker and her husband visited me in the hospital and made it into a song. Blessed be.
Everyone take a breath. Thank you. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? What's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? Well, somebody thought of that and someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me, all of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? Have you heard voices? I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that called the young sailors? The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. There's something that I'm supposed to be. Well, someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La da 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 la 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 la.
Well, now I'd like to ask the ushers to come forward and for us to contemplate the giving that we have to do today. You know, next week we're going to talk about revealing health in our finances and supply. And one of the greatest ways to reveal, I'm giving you a preview, to reveal joy and abundance in your supply is to give. That is not counterintuitive. It is the thing to do to increase the flow. So if you have already written out your check today, try putting another 5 in. And feel how amazing and wonderful it feels to increase the flow. And let us together say, this gift I give is God in action. I now send it forth to bless and to prosper. I know that everywhere it goes, it is creating a world living in love, one heart and one thought at a time, and so it is. So just put love and healing and connection and whatever other qualities of the infinite you want in your life, generate that now, put it in the money, and get ready to have more of it flow into your life. And then have a good time with this little song as the ushers receive our gifts.
Actually, Carl Anthony wrote this song.
What?
Carl Anthony.
Okay.
Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little body in my body is well. I feel so good. I feel so swell. Every little cell in my body is well. I feel so good. I feel so swell. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I feel so good. I feel so swell. Every little cell in my body is well. I feel so good. I feel so swell. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I feel so good. I feel so swell. Every little cell in my body is well. I feel so good. I feel so swell. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well.
Woohoo! We needed that one. Oh. So I bless this offering today. I bless the hands and the hearts and the minds that chose to give. I bless the flow of good in each and every life. And so it is. Blessed be. Okay. Well, we have tremendously happy announcements, beginning with this one. Pat and Leslie, come on up. Practitioners now. They both passed their orals yesterday, and I just want you to know that this represents at least 4 years of metaphysical classes and work and prayer and work with practitioners to come up to this stage, and mighty testing. And I was talking with Reverend Sarah earlier this morning, who said the benefits of studying to be a practitioner, whether or not you ever step into being a practitioner, is mighty. She didn't know that she was going to be a practitioner. I bet these girls didn't know. Maybe they did, but I saw them decide and redecide and redecide and redecide as they did their studies. I want to give each one a moment to simply reflect to you what they see their practitioner life as being.
Well, I feel called to teach science of mind, so I am going to be a practitioner in 2 of the classes this fall.
On a personal level, I feel that I want to bring the practitioner consciousness more deeply into every aspect of my life. And on a more worldly perspective, I want to help other people get through their stuff so that they can see the light and the love that really shines so brilliantly and magnificently in them. Thank you.
Woohoo! Yay! So proud of you. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Well, all is right with the world. We have 2 more practitioners. This is just fabulous. This Friday, all of you Leos and friends of Leos have lots of friends. So we're having a party at Sue Ruta's house, and as usual, if you are a Leo, just come and be absolutely loved up and celebrated and seen for that fabulous lion that you are. And all of the rest of us get to bring the goodies. So please come, and we have a wonderful time at Sue Ruta's house. Quick Start is happening next week, that's right. And Gail Durkin, our president right here, is the teacher. So if you would like a review of our basic principles, or if you would like to learn our basic principles, this is a wonderful afternoon class that gives you an introduction in a very fun way. And Gail's a fabulous teacher on our faculty. Bodhi's CD release party. Whoa. is August 1st at Open Secret Bookstore, and he has some flyers over there on the musician's table, and you are living your dream, baby. You are living your dream. I am so blessed. We are blessed to have you.
I'd like to say, what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the CD, which is an hour-long mantra. Piece is now with 35 guest musicians jamming over it. And then we're going to take a little break, and then for half an hour, we're going to chant pieces now, and I have about 20 musicians going to be there supporting just acoustic jam on pieces now. So it's going to be a pretty fun night.
Fabulous, fabulous. And lastly, International Forgiveness Day is happening Sunday, August 3rd. This is the 18th Forgiveness Day, and Bob has little flyers about the forgiveness heroes. I mean, I'll just read one. Scarlett Lewis's son was killed at Sandy Hook. Forgiveness turned tragedy into something that can change the world. Scarlett Lewis, a mom. And these are the kind of people that every single year Bob has found to illuminate Forgiveness Day and to show the unbelievable power of forgiveness in people's lives. And so that is happening August 1st. Thank you. Thank you. So at this time now, one more. I'm glad I remembered this one. The altar creation, Sunday, August 3rd. Janet Ryan and I, well, actually, all of the altar team, the women on the altar team, you're all invited to bring a little something, a little holy object that you love, and anybody who is interested in supporting the altar team or maybe being on the altar team or just to see a wonderful experience, we're going to create an altar outside and talk about what happens on the altar team, because we could use some more people doing these beautiful, beautiful altars that add so much to the service. So that's going to be on August 1st. Third. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Now, if the practitioners, including our two new ones, would surround the community, and the ones who are on the prayer table today to come forward. These are the beloveds that can know the truth for you. And just please feel the support of the room around you, and then receive this blessing. May you live happily in your body for as long as you want to. May God's radiance show from every cell. And as you walk this earth in your beautiful body, may Spirit guide your way. And standing now for the affirmation. Right up here. I am whole and healthy in mind and body because my spirit is in right relationship with my source. I am grateful for my vitality, wisdom, and divine connection with the infinite. Blessed be.
I am a prayer for peace. Wherever I go, peace goes with me. I feel peace inside, and every breath peace abides. And I know the joy of peace, and I choose